There are ideas in investing that are either genius or completely silly. Now the data around BabyDoge is very polarizing and I want to share you what I mean. This is not the first video on BabyDoge on this channel. And the last video actually underperformed the average video. It still got a few subscribers, but still it seems like there's not too much retail interest in BabyDoge. But at the time the price was at a couple of zeros 2 and now it's at a couple of zeros 5, 4. So a 2.5x in the last 2 months roughly. And I publish videos on BabyDoge regularly on this channel. Now let me show you what I mean with the surprising data. This is our long-term price chart, right? It pumps and dumps, then it pumps again and it dumps again. Currently we are obviously in a pump and this seems like we are close to where in the past we have seen rather a decline in price. Now this is the long-term price chart. But what's even more interesting than the long-term price chart is the long-term market cap chart. There we are actually at an all-time high. BabyDoge over time is growing. It's attracting more and more capital. And that's because the supply over time is expanding. Now today we are up 10% and that is very surprising because have a look at what's currently happening everywhere. On the Ethereum chain, for example, we didn't see a single trending token that did not lose in the last 24 hours. A lot of the losses are also in the double digits. And have a look at the Binance Smart Chain. There's only 2 liquidity pools that are currently green and both of them are related to BabyDoge. So there's clearly something special happening. The trading volume is at very high levels similar to what we had seen in the past. Whenever trading volume comes down, the price also tends to come down again. We now have 1.8 million holders on chain. And it's interesting how a video about BabyDoge tends to underperform a regular video when there's such a large number of holders. Maybe not all of those holders are organic. Because have a look at this. This is the number of holders that have at least $1,000 worth of BabyDoge on the left, $10,000 worth of BabyDoge in the middle, and $100,000 worth of BabyDoge on the right. So we do this differentiation with minimum holding thresholds. So we're looking at the number of tokens. It's 200 billion tokens on the left, 2 trillion tokens in the middle and 20 trillion tokens on the right. And what do we see? We see how actually the number of wallets tends to go down very, very long term. We also see this with the recent rally, right? It does not look like the number of holders is going up. Why is the price going up when the number of holders on chain is going down? Yes, there are some new users that interact with the token in the last few days, but net we tend to see less wallets holding the token. When we look at the ratio of returning users to new users today is an all-time low. Attention for BabyDoge comes in waves, and of course when attention is high, the price is high. When attention is low, the price is low. And since May of 2021, so again a very long-term chart, we rather tend to see over time more and more sellers. So this is the ratio of buyers and sellers over time. Here's what I think is going on. Even though BabyDoge is one of the largest tokens on the Binance Smart Chain in terms of liquidity, more and more of the supply is moving to the centralized exchanges. Because now 29% of all of trading volume happens on Gate.io. And there's almost $4 billion worth of trading volume on the Binance Perpetual Futures market. In other words, the levered contracts on BabyDoge move the price now the most. The centralized exchanges have to hedge their exposure whenever taking counterparty risk in those perpetual futures. And of course, that hedging activity moves the spot prices as well indirectly. And so this is probably how this all works. On the one hand, you offer bets on the price, right? The perpetual futures contracts. But on the other hand, you also own a lot of the supply. So you've got an impact of where the price might be going. It's kind of like if you were the sports betting house on a football game, but at the same time, you also bought the referee. You've got an impact on the game. It's a very unfair proposition, but I believe this is one part how the centralized exchanges make their money. Now have a look at this. This is BabyDoge long-term relative to its native chain, the Binance Smart Chain. So it's the BabyDoge price divided by the price of BNB. And this chart starts in June of 2021 and it shows us a very nice trading range. And it also shows us how peaks tend to somewhat align. The peak in February of 2023 happened at a similar level to the peak in January of 2022. And the current peak happens at a similar level compared to the one in March of this year. And so what's the obvious bet here? The obvious bet is not to buy BabyDoge, it's to bet on falling prices. There is a risk, of course, right? We could rise another 69%, but there's also a potential gain of maybe 78%. What's more likely? Are we going to see a continued short squeeze or are we going to deflate? It is a hard call, and that's why I started this video with either this is a genius idea or it's very silly, because overall the market is currently expanding. The stablecoin market cap continues to expand since October of last year. In other words, crypto prices are likely going to rise in aggregate because money is flowing from traditional finance into the crypto ecosystem. Still, it really feels hard not to short this token. And so I'm considering to open in that position. I haven't done it yet, but I'm considering to do so. One way to execute that trade would be on Venus Finance. So that's app.venus.io. And over here, we've got the isolated pools. We've got the meme coins over here, and we've got BabyDoge over here. And there is liquidity of 289K and a borrowing rate that's pretty much non-existent. So you can deposit your collateral. The collateral in this case would be Tether. You can then borrow BabyDoge against this. You can then swap the BabyDoge back to Tether, deposit that Tether again, improve your health rate, and make money as BabyDoge loses against Tether. If this was all a little bit too quick and you're not familiar with how to make money when prices are falling, feel free to check out the premium membership. So that's a link down below, thebitcoinstrader.com. There's a tutorial video called Gaining from Relative Valuations. There's another one called How to Profit from Falling Prices. And there's also a step-by-step guide, for example, over here, shorting optimism relative to Bitcoin. There are more than 100 tutorial videos in premium. It's not just about shorting, it's also about backtesting. It's also about wallet tracking, on-chain analytics. Feel free to check it out. There's a video on that website. It's roughly 7 minutes in length. It shows all the advantages. It also shows all the wallet tracking we have, the community that we've built. So if your crypto portfolio is not just a few $100s, but it's in the thousands, maybe tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars, then it might make sense to check it out. I strongly believe that crypto is both a game of luck, but also of skill. And the more skill we have, the more over time the money should accumulate towards the people that beat others, that know more than others. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video, or see you in premium. Cheers.